Okay, so here we are in a FlopHero, and if you notice in the top right up here, there is a upload icon. Now the other stats for the moment, don't worry about them. We will go into those in later videos. We're just going to show you how to upload hands, which is the first thing you will need to do. So you click on upload and take note of supported sites, and hopefully your site is on there. There's 3 ways to upload hands. There's the drag and drop into this window, which I think is the best and easiest. There is the upload file, so you upload, click on there, and then pick from the directory where you got it stored to upload it. And the other way is to paste the text, do a control copy. So depending on your situation and your needs, there's 3 different ways. And you could even argue there's more, because you can upload a file or you can upload a folder. And the other thing to take note of is, which I really like, is it's can upload a .text or a .zip. So the good news about that, I play on GG, is the hands are all zipped, so you don't have to unzip them. You just load the zip file here, which I will do now. I'm going to upload a session, or a couple of sessions I've been playing over the last few days. I have no idea how I went, so let's do that. Okay, I'm going to do the drag and drop a zip file into here that I just downloaded from GG. It's over the past 7 days, and then we click, as you can see, it uploads straight away, and then analyze, which I hope you can appreciate. It will take not that long, but it does take some time. So I'll click analyze, pause this video, and then come back when it is done. So after you've uploaded your first session to FlopHero, you'll see a dashboard full of data like the one in front of you. Now there's a lot of metrics there to try and understand, but I'm just going to go through the key metrics so you can understand what the results mean and focus on fixing real leaks instead of guessing. So we're looking at the session overview. So all you need to do is click on your sessions tab there if you haven't already. And what this gives you is a key summary of your sessions, key stats like EV winnings and GTO deviations, and a full list of hands from your upload. So the ones I just uploaded were these ones. That we're just going to look at this one here. Click on that. It gives me a full list of hands from that upload below. So this is where you need to start to analyze. This is where improvement starts. Got to scan for trends, find recurring mistakes, and dive into the hands that matter most. So to do that, you need to understand and read the key metrics, which I am going to just highlight the very important ones. Again, just sticking to this session here, the important number is GTO ΔEV, which is the difference in expected value between your action and the optimal GTO action. The higher the number, the bigger the leak. So it's a direct measure of how much EV you left on the table. There's also hands analyzed, which is the number of hands FlopHero processed from your session, and it tells you how complete the analysis is. Now, for various reasons, which I won't go into at the moment, there are certain hands that FlopHero cannot analyze at the moment, one of those being limp pots and a few others, which I will explain in another video. And the thing to look at to see if you're improving, and it looks like I am not improving as much as I'd like, is the GTO ΔEV across multiple sessions. You need to track that to see if you're actually improving. So this needs to be dropping. So if we go down here, when I loaded these up last month, it's getting pretty high GTO EVs. That's very low, which is good, but it's only a few hands. And it seemed to be, that seems like a good session, improving a fair amount. However, I've dropped off on this session. So we'll dig deeper into that and see where I lost EV. And the other thing you can take note of is your won EV, how much you've won, and how much EV you won. So adding all this up, all the sessions, and down below here, I won or minus 330 BB. However, my EV is 120 BB, so I am running under EV. So I guess that means I'm playing reasonably okay. This is only 10 NL rush, most of these sessions. A pretty low stakes. So we'll look at this session, as I said, and click on it again, and the hands are down here. Another thing to note is the number of pages you can show. So there's 63 hands, and it's only showing 10 as I have 10 per page. So you could make that 100 per page and see all your hands. Again, the most important thing is the delta EV or the EV loss, but let's just stick with this at the moment. So I clicked on there, and the hand comes up. And again, things to note, the status, I've replayed this hand before, these ones I haven't. And the deviation, or the analysis firstly, is a blunder play. Now, plays are broken down into various levels. So there's blunder plays and weak plays. And then when you get to your good plays, or you have optimal play, which is what we're striving for. But if we stick to the blunder play in the first one, where it deviated, where your mistake was, where you lost the most EV, and again the delta EV, the EV loss, type of game, cash, 6 max, and your position, and a single raised pot with 3 players. The board, stack size, blinds, and the 1 EV, and how much you won, date, and actions, flop, raise, check, etc., etc. And you can mark the hands, which is very useful for going back later. Okay, so let's have a look at this hand. I wonder if I can zoom in a bit. I'll just leave it as it is. Now we can scroll through this various ways. There's this 1 arrow key where you go to the next action in the hand, or the double one which goes to your next action. So let's just go to the action, see what the other players do. Next, so that guy raises the 3.5. And there's a lot of stuff happening over here. Not going to go into this matrix because it just takes a bit of explaining. But the thing I want to highlight in this video is you can toggle between the overall strategy and the hand strategy. So at the moment, we just have overall strategy, and facing a 3.5 BB raise with my overall range, I should be folding 89%. Now if we click on that, we get the hand strategy, so it looks at the exact hand. King 10, 8, 7 double suited, and you can see that I should be raising 100%. So, and also it's showing me I'm losing some EV here. So I've made a mistake pre-flop and also post-flop on the turn. Now I'm not 100% sure what I'm about to say is correct, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty close. That if you make two mistakes, one pre-flop and one, say, on the turn, post-flop, the deviation here, it will be whatever the highest one was. So we end up calling, it looks like. So this yellow mark here tells me I'm calling, about to call, and I should be raising 100% with that hand. So there's my first mistake. Click to my action, and it then jumps to the flop. So note we still have these two players in the hand. This guy checks, this guy leads for about third pot, and I, again, looks like, and then it seems like I make another mistake where, again, what's highlighted in yellow tells me what I do. So I'm about to raise pot, and I should be calling 100% with that particular hand. Now note here, this has disappeared, my hand strategy. You can see the overall strategy. Folding 26, calling and raising a very small amount. Now the reason why this has disappeared, the hand, if we look on the info button, it says this scenario is rare and our strategic recommendation may lack precision. Proceed carefully with this solution. Now, I'm almost certain the reason for this is that we are in a spot where, we shouldn't be in this particular spot as it's rare. I made a mistake it's multi-way. There's a whole lot of reasons, but just please take note of that. That if your hand strategy disappears, I will talk more about that in another video. Let's continue on, and looks like I raise it, and the turn comes, and lo and behold, this is where I make my major mistake. Cost me the most money because there is pot's large now, and I decide to go all in, which you should never do, and you're checking 100% with that particular hand on that particular board. Okay, so we never get to the river. This guy folds, and I can see why now. I think the only hand he's ever going to call is obviously a better flush, so we're much better off checking. And making a bet on the river if we check too. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up soon. So just to go over what we've talked about, the important things are, we'll go back to sessions. Every time you play a session, you should upload it, or you can actually, on some poker sites, do a live tracking of it, meaning as you play, it'll auto load the hands. Obviously, it's not real-time assistance of any way, shape, or form, but it just loads the hands, so you don't have to load them later. And then once you load the latest session or sessions, you should go through it, each one, And we look at this next one here. Actually, I might do this one because it's just longer, got more hands. And of course, the other thing to note over here that I'm hopefully you're all familiar with is your standard graph of the session and how many hands you've played, how many BBs you won, your win rate, and how much EV you won. So in this particular scenario, I won a couple of BBs, but played badly, looks like, and in theory lost 145 BBs. And it shows here the graph, showdown winnings, non-showdown winnings, and you can check this red graph. And again, not sure if everyone's familiar with it, but it's very important to see if you're winning because you're making people fold or you're just winning a lot at showdown. There's lots and lots of discussions over this red line in theory, and don't take it exactly verbatim, but you want to be able to, or not have a red line going down. That's about the only thing I'll say. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. There is so much more to go through in the next few videos. We've got reports, we've got strategies, we've got the trainer. Trainer being the replayer, or sorry, setting up certain scenarios of hands and playing through them. Anyway, I'm excited. Hope you are too. This program / solver is pretty awesome, and it's really an awesome way to improve your PLO game. Play a session, review your session, see where you've made the mistakes, fix those mistakes, and rinse and repeat. So I'm going to be going through my journey. Hopefully you're finding this interesting. I'm going to keep playing, and my aim is to get this GTO ΔEV looking a lot lower for each session than it currently is. And we're going to try and hone in on the areas where I'm making mistakes. And if you like this video, please subscribe and you'll be notified whenever I post a new one, which will be very shortly. I hope to post one at least every 2 days. And like it, and it's going to help me a lot, and hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.